voice no.
No correct.
Yeah, more Professor Gyampo voice a video bina obi say Professor Gyampo akoka nasem ne yenhwe. Ne yenhwe sa voice no say ye wa. More Bengazi video no.
Oh, sir. You know, Amanta na nesama Kenya is so. Asema mekafa Professor Gyampo, he couldn't respond. And I would want to state to say, look, that's it. Sir President Mahama, if he means the talk now, he should sack Professor Gyampo. Because, look, Professor Gyampo, sir, there was a directive, sir, Ansana si will be able to kwano. Government appointee biano. Sir, unya permission from
Chief of Staff,
right? Mm-hmm. Professor Gyampo Baye were 2.5 solid times. Nina on business economy. On business class. And now of 5. First a year or no so was until so US na conference no. Omo yede, omo cancel ye. But still he went. And with every travel bia or travel biano, Professor Gyampo takes per diem. Obaye, he has been out of the country 5 solid times on the notions here or the Shippers Authority. Conference, yes, meetings, Nibi or Honoma, and Basso, but still he goes and he takes per diem. 2, Wafa, and Ma, and Kwa, and one the office honor. And Ma, almost about 28.
This
and office honor. 2, 28.
And what is a if you play
NDC form we get Edema President Mahama. Professor Gyampo is sacking them. What a regional communications officer? Any letter from the presidency. Sir, Professor Gyampo, any corporate corporate affairs director. Shippers Authority. Professor Gyampo catcher and say own to me management. One man contract. And then yes, so call one man. And my programs are omo ye wole go nyina Professor Gyampo na sponsor. All the budget eba at the back Shippers Authority one mon kwa. Now wole go on sisia. To show mo whole weeks near the ebe. All the call Professor Gyampo and sisia or be sign the ama. I'm telling you this. And the Shippers Authority one no bania air cost one no. That's it. Say, man can you near expose near Professor Gyampo, ye were one man. On it a ma air chimpna, no answer no one more majuma, was Shippers Authority one of na. Minjini say, a bebois on mine. Looking at the pedigree, Professor Gyampo, or and Professor Gyampo Yana, you say, oh, uncle, oh, kiss you be war, a ye video more mocheno. Huh? And that's video man, and you know, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. Chebe sempen for mama money and maso enko Ghana Shippers Authority, headed by Professor Gyampo. Investigations say start to say koso. A man of 4 majuma under which circumstances no more majuma.
Is it not because I know you're hard on the MPP?
No. It's not about being hard. A normal air coso or honoma, workers nibi, air catcher. So Bengazi, Munumana Mokasa Sujum. Munkabi Mayana, this is what Professor Gyampo is doing. In Kunyani idea so 20 now one top. So cut it down cost. Emma deputy was said then and wako ton Kunyana. The Professor Gyampo no dear, say, they have to investigate him. Meno Kasa is here. Or took without the permission of the chief of staff, Wafa and Ma, almost about 28, under dubious circumstances, 1 year interview, and one more man has started a Juma Ewo Honum. Allegedly, yes, say, Professor Gyampo named Mani be air champna.
You are repeating yourself.
Shippers Authority Honum. Into that, in penning 4 and 4 NC form, and I would petition the special prosecutor on this one. So one fanina and see from no man shima Professor Gyampo. Nen sama or maybe the video better said the money be no do legono. say wasanso e de ko Shippers Authority one I indulge you. So mama yen for yen India chile, muna mo ye journalist. Na yen hwehwe se mi mu nyina se papa no ho so then yen nyina ye bebo but so far as I'm concerned workers or more Shippers Authorities is am no kase ekra near Professor Gyampo ye no ebo embra eni mbone embra ne bo ebra nti ne wo honom no now on SML contract ni nsensem look about where I am going to say, and remember, be a sebi or to whom to Sony Adina, sebi, and no crack. And you be on Mokafa can for Yata on data bonds and on inside a data bank. Our bonds, Ghana bonds, no on any idea. And no mobile or Mofa data bank and to Enka. No more of banks and a year or me to me, Abua, Ama. Ghana etumi aton no bonds tiaba when you ma bebre no motutu hunto so ene omutumi ka kire say Israel ni Iran eho ensem ni betumi affect yen ba ye time de ye ka kire Ghana for say COVID affect yen omosi o enye no kre Russia Ukraine war affect yen omosi enye no kre and then omosi dumso levy na komode ba 1 cedi no Omo year fi one because of Israel any Iran in some no meboa. Na nkofo mo nsema bombs o mo tu ibi abeto Ghana ha no mana. Bombs o mo tu ibi abeto Ghana ha. They told us say external factors does not affect us.
Professor Gyampo screenshot no yem ready. Professor Gyampo screenshot na me de mo fanto so no yem ready. Professor Gyampo ni screenshot no ni won. Okay. We a letter no screenshot no. Mama screenshot. Your Facebook screenshot to be a screenshot in here. This is the screenshot. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Auntie. Sorry. Screenshot to now. I think it should be 2. Okay. Auntie Bengazi make me read you free. Yeah. On one screenshot no I say responding to baseless allegation against me. My attention has been drawn to some allegation made against me on some radio stations and on social media. I wish to thank all my admirers for calling on me to ignore and not to respond. But unfortunately, lies becomes true in the physics of many people in Ghana when they aren't corrected, and so I plead that I am allowed to respond not to the grand scheme against me because of my vociferousness against bad governance in the previous regime. What did I say? Because previous regime no. And say I say 2. I have not recruited 28 women and 2 men as been alleged. I am not in charge of recruitment at my workplace. Recruitment over the years, I am told, has been done professionally by a private outsource agency that follows a rigorous selection process. Part of my work required that I travel, and out of the over 38 opportunities, I have only honored 4, and these were with the express approval and permission from the Chief of Staff. I have never traveled on first class or business class. I remain the only CEO in Ghana who travels on economy ticket. Again, the evidence of my boarding pass for all the 4 trips are there. My lawyers and other lawyers, I don't even know have taken over the matter, and I will deal with the individual behind the business allegation this week. Okay, yate. Yanko says no. Sex no. Crowd ye say and shada in here. Or say, South Yasem way na. Some video no a video mboa. Una akwaka wasem. Now catch the utie video no more. Was a Professor Gyampo. Me say a man for a monitor mo kroma. So I saw you so vociferous. Over the years, I saw you vociferous. No be responded to me. I in particular. A man for be to me, mammy message. Now, bring other na Professor Gyampo Sora. O didi na nado atem. O didi ba o miano matem. O din trogu MPP. So I bring you and tisa waka Gyampo asemda. Nam say yes. Obia ni na granyere. Also a neutral person. Let's allow him na on kanasem. It is okay, yeah. Oh my Professor Gyampo attack on the MPP starting from 2018 now, basic 2024. No, men respond no to that. Because niente men respond to you be or kasa. Na sem no they cannot say e ya oni ani brebi wo ma you ignore the person. Until over the years he has been ignored from my quarters. I no abedia dance yesem nkan asem. Right. But what sem ya wodi to dwan no. Wo kan wo say watu kwan enum. And no say watu kwan enan. Correct. Na da bia no say otrase no kasa, he say ofri ase no osua bibi. Say when you are in a group wa woni group be here adwuma enye wadwene say da bia no wo de wo ye special na wo so chen others no. Look at the last paragraph 5 no.
Yeah. My lawyers. No.
That paragraph 4. Paragraph 4 no.
I've never traveled in Nana. First class Nana.
Yes. Or say I remain or say onunkwa na ye the only CEO.
Right. Or the economy.
Or the economy. That is paragraph 4.
Right.
I've never traveled on first class or business class. Right. I remain the only CEO. I remain the only CEO. I no minim say other CEOs no Ghana ha no. Professor Gyampo is so powerful so mu tu kwana. Omu twa take it na omu de bechere no. Or is so powerful say now he's a de facto chief of staff. And the other chief for other chief executive officers you know tu kwan they report to him no ma ka kire ne say you the first class in eco. Now, no, or person say under NDC, all the chief executive officers, CEOs wama yura mahama appoint to omono, or no kwana ye kronkono. That is the person Professor Gyampo. Yeah, observe na sa no behave. Say chief executive say omo work room as say no. So kan paragraph 4 na. Wo mo maka nyina anye papa omo nka nokre. Because now Professor Gyampo is reporting to Ghanaians. Yes, that Nasisa Wabeka Chile. Yet that Professor Gyampo say. Because Okuja Tabrakwa. I catch the Ghana phone you now say. Or buy on for business class in 2 coin. No crap. Nano nya kwanya or converting no. Or see business class in a first class do the 2 coin. Okuja Tabrakwa. And now Professor Gyampo is reporting. I am taking him based on paragraph 4. Based on paragraph 4. Or say I have never traveled on first class or business class. I remain the only CEO in Ghana who traveled on economy. Take it.
International. So we're exposing John Mahama CEOs no say omunyina the business class at the
first class
on the economy at the core. Yes, say Ghana for
Nipa papa ba ko pa Ghana say yenyini aye Professor Gyampo under President Mahama administration. Right. The only CEO
onope
oye kronkron
onope
na o to kwana
also
odwene Ghana ho abanya promise Ghana for say sika ni man mu. Now we are being told to say all the chief executive officers including their nano Erika J to kwani or say Professor Gyampo is saying say Erika J the first class in America. Because Erika J poster say why ye nip na dene koye.
All right. Nti Gyampo nkuana sisi odi economy.
Yes, no. Professor Gyampo abe expose Erika J ya. Na all kase MPP government appointees at the first class and business class to kwano. And then Professor Gyampo catch say na no Erika J kwa America no. Erika J the first class or at any business class.
Now me say chairman Erika J the role yes simple no krano. Onu mo mbefa economy. Me say asema me kan ye.
No.
Gyampo.
Yes, I agree with you.
Business class no.
You know ye nyina ni Erika J say.
Very good.
But Professor Gyampo say
expose no.
Say
mpanimfo amu yes CEOs ni na
including the deputy. Or say I remain brofo. Tie
Professor Natural so ni mu tena woka so ye de facto chief of staff. Natural so mo ba be kan. Onoma ekoso anu
na de facto chief of staff.
Wow.
De facto chief of staff for 7 years can see.
Wow.
Eno nie enti sa okan brofo no ye krai. Or say I have never traveled on first class or business class.
Right.
I remain the only CEO in Ghana who travels on economy tickets. Again, the evidence of my boarding passes for all the 4 trips are there.
Wow.
Masa.
Chairman, me be kan say in fact investigations are yaye no ekire say Professor Gyampo enya akwanya so oba beye super authority CEO no were 2.5 times.
And no say 4.
No say 4. Me catch Ghana for e won hwehwema yaye ni nyina kire say Prof ede first class and or the koye or say ono ne de economy and or the koye. 2 me so catch Ghana for say o akwantu obi num wo ho no ma o 2 year conference ni ade na sebi anka eso okono omutwamu enso still Professor Gyampo eyeden ekoye na empanimfo enhwehwem Chairman, asema me kan ya no say empanimfo enhwehwem
now babi osanka say on recruit to ayi bia na
28 no
ni agency no
very good
private ayi and the recruit to
also mo outsource e de ma private
no recruit to
but HR no ama Matias say ansana
yeah more be adin
Matias
until be
so all the practices no HR human resource
practices
see no na de
HR school
exactly
yes.
Human resource no ansana omo be recruitment no see no the list ne ba or sign so no the ama HR say ebia outsourced agency no mo frɛ na mo hwɛ na mo frɛ sa ankofo wei
na eba ne saying na okay let's assume
yes
say yeah the ma private ayi
yes
omo wie sa ankofo no mo wo fine now say omayem who say from January to July
yes
Shippers Authority aye recruitment and now money recruitment.
That's a
valid recruitment there. Right. Fine. Let us know.
That's a valid question. That is a very, very valid question.
Massa.
Respond when to that's a very smart question.
Let me tell you today.
Right.
And then you may come will be at
right.
Lawyer ni bia no obese ni court at the office no be coffee no the body akoma na yire.
Chairman.
Lawyer ni one who say what pon na all kono na ye de body agu kentem na so no de eye money and no de kotre money gakuri gana ma meboa
yes
entino what here who boss say FBM let's dwell on nasem no kai say he remained as the only CEO Sami Jamfi choba wa tutu kwan bebre all other yi Professor Gyampo catch say omunyina the first class in the coy
wow
and the chief executive officers here, Yura Mahama appointed Mama to Kwan.
Omo breach code of conduct. No?
Code of conduct because my abana my etia say. One by a moderate.
Right.
Our Kwana womututu o manamo. Na wamo didn't Ghana for and to some more didn't Ghana for the Professor Gyampo Baba exposed all the chief executive officers say womutu kwanya either they use first class or business class and the board na economy musisikanim
right
economy the economy was criminally managed
crime scene
crime scene. Sa economy no, you're the first class to coin, you're for business class there. All the chief executive officers, all the managing directors in this country, they have a question to answer based on Professor Gyampo post. And we are saying, say, say, Professor Gyampo say, he is the only chief executive officer. All other chief executive officers in the one say economy nya papa who took coin not out economy more and nya papa. And you know, chief executive officers na kano they have shot President Muhammad down. Yes, I know. Okay. Now there is a paragraph there.
Right.
I was say
yes.
And send me paragraph 5.
Yes.
I say my lawyers and other lawyers.
I don't even know.
Have taken over the matter and will deal with the individuals behind the business allegation dispute in the law profession. Lawyers have been trained say omun chase case.
No correct.
Any lawyer be obe chase case be on there. It's against the professional ethics.
Right. Education are the man.
Oh yes. Education I'm the man where you free of charge. And for Professor Gyampo, et me carry so or ye big gas say radio so
right
now kasa wie no lawyers are only momo a friend said they want to pursue a case against you. Lawyers and chase case and no lawyer will call a client to say matito obi aka wasem entino fa case ni bra na menye ma o asem na waka no so no
yeah
identify the image of the Ghana Bar Association ni mase.
Hey, Professor Gyampo.
Yes, because who Professor Gyampo you be and who say obi can answer mo radio so na lawyers ya only mamu because they want to do a case for somebody caller ne so be man Ghana da and he is called Professor Gyampo.
It's also the facto chief of staff.
Yes.
Because
people who have been trained he don't even know.
Yes.
People who have gone through the professional
right.
Yet train them how to behave as a lawyer.
Right.
And a lawyer will pick a phone scouting for a case to do.
Chairman, obey powerful because as some people MPP penning for.
I will come there and ask you questions. Bengazi, what am I saying? Say no Professor Gyampo say.
Right.
Ghana lawyers penase lawyers ya onu ni mo no. The lawyers are scouting. Masa, wo pedigree ni mania. A lawyer will be struggling to do a case for you. You don't even know that lawyer. Now him say the first thing is the lawyer and so be take you brief.
No correct.
And I'm a boy.
No correct.
In you know, a legal, you have to appear before the person law firm.
No correct.
That is the rules.
No correct.
You have to appear before the person's law firm.
No correct.
Now ni panetenasi ewo wanim.
No correct.
In UK, a hard year na meaning, but in UK, the civil procedure
right.
UK is clear. Say, won't you mean your clan case a woman say that?
No correct.
You have to,
logic.
yes, you have to appear
right.
under the rules, the civil procedure rules in the United Kingdom.
Right.
The lawyer should try as much as possible say obey who the client.
No correct.
And Ghana, a lawyer cannot do a case here. Onim the client. Onim the client to cry no be jinama. It should be through power of attorney.
No correct.
And then what Babet Nancy say, oh, soon. And to be a radio so I say what to coin num. What say a no what to coin 9. To who seal Nipano for defamation. The one on Kwan and Nipana score 98%. Go to the court.
No
now, as 70 by in some way, a Professor Gyampo and Namoso. I'm a Professor Gyampo, I expose you other chief executive officers say.
No correct.
Womo to choir, womo the first class in the corner. Why expose one boy? Who am I boy? Tell me. eya wona akọ boss na wa be expose am boa nke say asema ba kuro man boa ama say no chief executive and baba be catch na say under this administration obaba be catch na say or the economy ne tu kwan ye beji adi because according to Professor Bibia Gyampo according to Professor Nyansa Che Obia Okroma Gyampo or say he remained the one and only chief executive or two kwan o yusu economy meboa and to say bang at some way I won nam and nam was so Ama Professor Gyampo expose ni quality chief executive officers no. Eni kwansa mpipi bo abaso. Yasi no hu, wonim no hu. Oh, kraya mabapa, wonim no hu. Wonim mpoto.
Ah, minimum poto. Ah, man can.
Ah, ya mo yan kraya wodin ne bebre wa. Asamo bani ye kwatra bre wa fie.
Me hu no.
Wonim say ma bre wa ha, wonim say man. Enti wo de weekend si bra, obeya poto ma bre wa je wonim say.
Mate chairman.
Ah, obeya poto. Weekend si bra fie ne yan hwe na. Ye nyam poto. Wonim de ntempa info say. Poto wo ho nu. Wanu asia. One was I won't say this is our one ya na sentinel ko ginasi ntidi to num no wa egwase no correct because ya den kwan na ye mpotompoto nto ye wi ade so num na what sentinel and ntampa enforce mpotompoto wa nu a wonte no pampan and now ko nu mu ba ye nu
no correct na
dey kan me no mienu ye na Professor Gyampo ase o kasa danase say enam ne so Mas say woman who chief executive officers ya. Woman bo man ne ka. A woman tu kwanya. Business class no mo de kwa Ghana fo na etuaka. O man no revenue ya the full business class ne first class ye na etuaka no. As said that Professor Gyampo ase. Na papa we ya wo na mo so a wa ye no. Ama MPP and this na nya asem we ya. Na nka MPP na wa ban mu a. Ka beto wuram.
Enokra.
But wo Bengazi. Can you want?
Chairman.
Hi. I'm people dear say man am can say. One more yet, one crofobia one people more. One more line no with the NDC. No ma called studio, radio station in TV. No ma kwa ye MPP full soldiers in you through me say you are winning 2028 or more. It's about time we take them on because they don't know how we work to win power in 2016. Wamo bedidi and no quiet and they are trying to please the NDC and no more that young crop for 2028. Ye Juma and they winning 2016. And if ultimate join it says here opposition now but didn't go back because you have power and now when you're one come home and I'll say same way by you. Alarm way a bro yama Professor Gyampo abe support on because all what you are saying no wabe respondo asana my details anyama Professor Gyampo na say obe make sure say aban we de ensiska na ne nkrofo siska onka ho asem nya true a senka yenti yes chief executive officers etu ko amu yusu first class ono na aba abeka ana asem ne baaye no matete say enra MPP fo mpanfo bi afrewo and atiefo MPP fo amohweye ha yo hia TV yes asem say dey sitie bi e de beba enra MPP fo mpanfo bi num frewo atema Professor Gyampo adi MPP atema Professor Gyampo adi Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo atema Professor Gyampo adi Baumia otimi describe MPP say emwa kra ye chen MPP fo e Ghana ha otimi ka say emwa e wo nyansa chen MPP Professor Gyampo na okase kire MPP wia asem we baaye no wo say MPP fo mpanfo binum afro se kopa na chew because Professor Gyampo atret afro matretin wo mo say so man call to order or do ba court nti MPP fo mpanfo afro say kopa na chew kan ye wan bia no bia nti na hawa ba be ma fie
chairman no
kwa be ma fie
no kwanya menem mebo abaso e wa kwanya odi amane in fact asemi ba ye a ye ba say ye ba be da no ye de ne kura no ebe ye adwuma no In fact, me kaya no na minni menya information menya efa Professor Gyampo ho. In fact, enwoma ekoso wo Shippers Authority honom no. Enye nwoma eda form. Kakra me beti ani keke no. Na professor no ankasa ababeka say nsema make ni nyina no. Say menya 98% correct kura say travels no or say me say 5. Ono no call 4.
What pass exam?
Ni nyina no wababeka.
No be ma 4/5 wa.
Na chese ma pass it.
Enye A+.
And correct.
Nti what pass?
Enti and na course me say course aba me so chairman. Omo frɛ me. Ai me kofa Professor Gyampo chao.
Enye fafo a.
Chairman.
Eye CPP for na efrɛ. Eye
MPP for na me catch out say MPP for na efrɛ me catch out say me kofa. Yes, I'm telling you this, chairman. MPP for and I efrɛ me catch out say Professor Gyampo from mo. Yaso afrɛ radio station one amma manager no warning. Amma host no warning. Afrɛ your director of communications. Amma no warning. Emma penifo just MPP penibia onim no Ghana bia efre Bengazi say onko pa Professor Ransford Gyampo
wo mo fra wo no sa nipa me no mo di come from tete ne nora nyina
look
fra mo po mo di to dwa
Gary Nimako number 1 say Professor Gyampo
ono fra nora
me say I Professor Gyampo almost Professor Gyampo afre Gary Nimako because Gary Nimako ye no lawyer every year so fra your director of communications Richard Ahiaba say, on frame me no can tell me say. Me masam na me beka ye.
So I am beka tro say Gary Nimako na frɛ no.
I Gary Nimako na frɛ no ahiaba. Say Richard Gyampo frɛ no say asɛm a me de abeto abontini. Say me ma twini hu amfi ho no ma ɔde asɛm na kokot. Before then no man lawyers nyina frɛ me. Na asɛm a me beka chairman ye hu ne say Professor Gyampo.
Ma ti say deputies ni bi so frɛ o.
Enokre. Na me mpɛ ebeye ebusuan tokwa because the main thing is say expose your professor no
ayan gbafre no ka say
no can say Gary Nimako afre say Gyampo aba no office one so on representing on this youth na ono Ransford Gyampo ne lawyer ene Gary Nimako inti me nkona me kopacho on the same assembly aye ken no mo pese omodi MPP be court.
Wo Gary Nimako no frɛ ayaba.
Yes.
And ayaba na frɛ.
Yes.
Say go and apologize.
Yes.
Omo de MPP be kokɔ.
Yes. In fact,
nti omo read Professor Gyampo post wi.
Omo menim kies omo read.
Politics no MPP yɛnte ase. Sɛ nka MPP yɛte ase a kasa Professor Gyampo post we no nko ano etimi ya press conference.
No correct.
Paragraph 4. Osise say the chief executive officers, managing directors,
right.
Ebo Manika, can people be addressing the nation? No, maybe what?
Right.
Come address all mine. Yes. And they are calling on you with this information. Yes. Say information in Kwada.
Yes.
And people address all mine. Yes. Information in Kwada. Now, say who go and apologize.
Jump a friend.
No, friend,
say. Man twemi hu afi ho a osu MPP fo nyina afra no kura asema me beka no no kura gye atum say asema me beka ye no kura na tuma me beka anko bi bete
tie odi MPP kokoto a MPP fo no do mbe kokoto no
yes
wo mo ko defend ya o mo nyi udi ni mfiri odi MPP party ni kokoto a
yes
so mo enta ne ye frɛ no appearance na
yes
wo mo nyi udi ni mfiri na MPP party ni general secretary ni atin chama ya walese enyina no onfa mo nkokoto no na wo do mo kwa wo no ba kwa defend the case because the yes. law of defamation na Gary Nimako fra nyamba se onfre wo no se wo wa station akwa kansema
yes
wasem no Professor Gyampo amount for over 5 nje se wa pass exam se no meboa fine. Now the law of defamation, una kan wasem.
Right.
Nti yada mutimi kase yi Professor Gyampo so the MPP party kokot. Right. MPP pa ye individual na kan sem.
Yes.
And ye de ne ko.
Yes.
Antino
na me mislo lawsuit. Baby amedri. Obi a matna bochire enim near the way abrabotie Professor Gyampo betumi ehunehuna.
Mpacho, wo be pacha na mpacho.
Ah, na chema me dey pass me ho chaw. Asem ya ono akasa ba baji atum sa asem me kan nyina ye no kre. Dan na me pa ho chaw. In fact, unim ne Professor Gyampo so ye careful. And then me ka asem wo fidie so. Chema. Unim say Professor Gyampo. Abra no wo legon. Onu obi abayo bi nya asem ema abayo na bonidua
Allegedly
me catch rew say abayo na bonidua say Professor Gyampo no
allegedly abayo bonidua
yes all his life no sa jaw na ewo abayo no mu no o say ebedi na chi afebo baby obekọ bia iti the first problem oba benya ema Ghana fo nyina aya make no iti fiti hanu mo kọ no after na nkofo ba be hu Professor Gyampo the real Professor Gyampo the way out here because Ghana wa amfisha na tira ankopa ne chewa eduaboni di nachi
ayesusuma se fie aye na ne dua
eduaboni da nachi
ba ye yasema ye kan say the new patriotic party
yes
the communication director the director of legal obitimi fra o ka kire o say MPP ni akokoto akokasa ye see defamation wo no lawyer because when I hear Professor Gyampo cases man until say nipa no ba be see defamation
right
or the MPP new patriotic party back in what capacity
wow sure
the law of defamation what do am count in what capacity
now who sue me for them me the asema beto wonom say mpanifo nhwehwe
asem no kra no di bia be
me ya whistleblower wo kra mpo di bia ba be ka ho
say I no kra wo dia wo kwa economy na unuanom aka de omo na ebo man no ho ka bacho onye case ni man enti obo so oba pacha na mpacho
me mpacho because me asema me kan me nka boni bia asema me kan ono akasa ba be yi ano
mate se lawyers na twromboa
ai
swami ampini ni law firm
ai
swami ampino
ai
ni law firm
ai
ena o ma twrew
ai
swami MP ni law firm ena o ma twrew meboa
asankofo ni nyina Gyampo di president Akufo Addo tem na omo we
Professor ayi Gyampo akwa swami ampino wo mo law firm and MPP communication director Afro with all the revelations of Gyampo Diaba, the director of communication MPP, on to press conference based on paragraph 5. Any promise and this in my yes or mobile, woman for first class. Paragraph 4 no, and director Richard Young, we want to press conference in Kase based on Professor Gyampo own statement, you know. And these chief executive officers,
this exposes them correctly.
This exposes them, and they are asking you to apologize.
Can you imagine?
Something that any pana, the so-called allegation, no,
yes,
about to no cry, more revelation. Hey, MPP. Now, and this can you get the nerves? Say over Fred and DC, Sami Gyamfi. And some Gyamfi akra kasa o radio show.
Yes.
Now wo
me say
Ghana who born dog go say and this communication director kasa o radio show. Now akwa fresh Sami Gyamfi say call that boy need to order.
Can you imagine?
Kadi o de be ya no because MPP no omo do omo nsa wura yenum ahun say ye leadership no a senior manum.
Sure.
Ayentana huna ana omo timi huna nkrofo. Can you call Sami Gyamfi? No, I can't say NDC communicate a bit here.
Abra in capital letters. I have never traveled on first class or business class. I remain the only CEO in Ghana who travels on economy ticket. You were over 100.
2,000.
2,000.
Managing directors
yes,
and deputies.
Yes.
Over 2,000.
You're coming in Ambum.
You're coming in Ambum. And NG Gabriel.
Yes. Now tell me, only my same room.
Thanksgiving.
Unim. Me say, na se mo ba ya me beka yi. Enkofo a omo wie school, e ma yo no ma, omo so omo wa nsem. Me ba omo say. Ana me kan say, enkofo afra me say omo wo nsem bebre fa Gyampo ho. Na omo ye ready so omo beba me nchen. E ni nya ba be to abo.
One patch on me.
Onko so say ya no pese ye koda. Onko opese ye koni se o ma yanko so
sa wo so mpa de wa
me ye dem pa ho chew
enti o siwa
me ye dem pa ho chew
ha so nka ho
me ye dem pa ho chew
me say o siwa on fa ha so nka ho
of course
ha de ya man so fie wo mpa chew ne empa chew tena o siwa on fa MPP ni fie ha nka ho ni ye nsia okoto ho masa yensia okwato
o to me frɛ radio ba ku na me koka nsɛm ni ona ni nyina atrete om ya o Professor Gyampo no
on fa me say won fa mo
wow
on fa mo you apologize what dia kofo ado atem ye mo binu man kasa ne ntia ne ye mpese ye do anim onyam beba fam ne ye because wo kire nkora de entu kokko gina krasia ukoko gina krasia esese wunya some respect de kire nkwa na ye no biri no ye decide say ka ye de utu fama ka can tell you say won't survive aka wo let in na me de 2 minutes atutu mu ntokuro no just 2 minutes wow post au ko post ye no me de 2 minutes atutu mu ntokuro agu wani mase de ntia mire bi because a lecturer is a lecturer ogina enkura na nima ono na nkura ne hwe na ye den afia no ne entira over the years no eya lecturer asemba me mpesa me den meka bi because omo gina omo tete ye that for the future generation for no every teacher be no asese nya respect for the teacher but whereby the teacher is going overboard no there asese the grade adwisa teacher ne free say the wunyina classroom be because I for instance the entire man can asem because of so gina nkora nim kira de na sa nipa no de ne to for no na mu no ho no mu no ho and asem bi oba the moment ya obefa lectureship ato ho so no nkrofo ma na wo kwotete wo mo until the first thing as a lecturer as a teacher or whatever or tutor no the first thing I respect. Without a respect, no idea be no abetira. Because we back class akra nyere and for serious. That is why over the years, you know, I for instance, me asem nka Gyampo asem. Because let's give him that respect. But no omuno at all. Me asem nka nasem because we chira nkura de nti sa nipa ne yegu na nim ase a no ko gina class ya. Ediana then crano so nya respect nyere emma no ntime na semba me nyere me nka bi ebiate na obekọ akọkire kwasi bafo ade ntime nka bi but now what free saade no hunti a me de respect ma wo no yes saade no nti a me de respect ma wo no because of the classroom but now what free classroom ho na tse also obekọ no saade a masa kroma me katro mo amutemu nka kire no sa on survival ye num binum de sa respect na near the man mre bi ya withdraw because omu no anti wo mu ho a obi atimi tra TV3 e ka se akofo ado aban nya to the sense wo bakora wanya sika PTA kwaso wanya sika ntopatro ankohwe oba 7 months in office wakwa G1 any TV3 say wo de no wa bobra papa bi ansa na ye ma see we year 2024 ukotena ho the same TV3 ka say akofo ado dia ho kira ba anti oba PTA kura wanya sika ntopatru anko 7 months in office wo say wo de now ye self-made man and sana wo ba be gisi wo no wo fi say ne wo kan bia no eniwati but sanya man na wo kan nyina ne empese be gu anim ase because you have class look at the number of students or more political science. Yes. Is one of the leading courses and cry. So you need a respect. Into the meme join it say you go and you must see and I'm at by my withdraw. Nko patch na on one information you be hold other chief executive officers here. Professor Gyampo I suppose you are need the dress say the first class in heading etukwano you be hold them responsible nko pacho MPP you timid na ye huna MPP for you be yam say you be na because of so mu fi say wo do ben dey ye koko huna nko pacho
you dey on to me huna me o hey mo be dey huna me chema
nko pacho
wo be dey huna me
on for radio station no any MPP for nya no fa nka ho ya here ye be hu ne be si okoto